Well, where are we? Well, you're in design mode. Have you realized that? We have made the shift in the course to you are really beginning to design an effective learning environment. In fact, I shifted the essential question because it used to say create, but it should better say design like it does now. You have been thinking for a while, but with the system outline due this week, it's time to start designing. You've been thinking about all of these elements, and with the system outline, you need to begin to lay out the big buckets in your system for addressing all of these elements. So right now, you're designing the container for your system and its big parts, and you've got the whole system outline assignment, and you should know what's going on there. But just to get you to realize you're shifting in the course now from thinking to designing. Focus question 1, we are well on our way to finishing up. So there's the focus question. Review it. We have finished the training on grading. Did you realize that? There's no more training on grading. Actually, last week, we finished the training on organization. Unless you raise a question on the Edmodo wall about organization, that training is over, and your next step is designing your system with the organization that you'll have in your classroom. You don't have to do that for the system outline, but the training's done there. This week, you receive your training on expectations. That's the chapter you're reading right now. And hopefully we've hit a good, nice rhythm on our online discussions. Now you know how those work. You've read, you're meeting and talking with your small groups, and then like the calendar says, on Wednesday, by Wednesday your questions are up, and Thursday and Friday we discuss. But oh my, just when we hit a rhythm, next week we have to go a little bit faster with all that. Take a look at the planner, because next week, on Thursday, is July the 4th holiday, and I want you to be able to have a holiday and even take the rest of the week off if you want to next week. Take a look at the planner and you'll see how the discussion is compressed for next week. You may want to talk about those compressed assignments when your group meets this week. We're doing a lot of work this week on managing small groups. So here's the focus question. Review it, please. You now know what cooperative learning is according to Johnson & Johnson, the 5 basic elements. In fact, in your group this week, you will implement group processing together, both so you can strengthen your group's work together and so you can experience group processing. There's an assignment posted for that. As always, let me know if you have questions. Also, in your groups, you're talking about the resources that you found. So you found 3 high-quality resources. Those resources should fuel a good discussion with your group about how to really implement cooperative learning in your subject area. It should go from theoretical, of reading the 5 elements last week, the 5 essential features, to practical as you see how teachers in your subject area implement cooperative learning and discuss that in your groups across all subject areas. Well, then also this week, if you notice, we're in, starting today and tomorrow, there's a Q&A period online about cooperative learning. So after your group meets, if you've still got questions or your group has questions, post them to the Edmodo wall so we can talk about them together as a group. And by the way, I think you probably hear my bird in the background. Sorry about that. There he is. I am sitting outside on my front porch recording this video. So where's all that going with small groups? Well, here's a heads up, and I will give you more details later this week. You do the system outline this week, And then fairly soon after that, you take the small group area of your system and you completely design it. That's where we're going. The first step on designing your full system, actually putting content in, is designing the small group system for your class based on the training you're receiving about small groups. Watch for a full assignment on that, but that's a heads up as you do all this reading of the resources, discussing with your group, and especially posting questions that you have. The next expectation I have of you in small groups is that in the course is that you can design an effective small group system for your learning environment. Keep that in mind and dig into those discussions. So, where else? Managing misbehavior. I think y'all have figured out step 1 and step 2 of the negotiations. Step 2 is due, I believe, July 5th, but if you want to take that whole weekend off, just get it done beforehand. Here's, I think, a confusing point. The actual submission for Focus Question 6 isn't due until August 1st. Step 1 and Step 2 is not submitting the work. It is telling me what you're going to submit at the very end on August 1st. And then us negotiating that and you getting my approval so that you know when you submit it, you're actually going to get full credit. And also, when you finish Step 2, if you've also actually already done all the experiences and you've got all the documentation and you get the reflection done, you can turn in the actual work for Focus Question 6. Look on August 1st for the actual assignment. You can turn that in earlier than August 1st if you want to. You're also in the midst of differentiation. And I told you this course was hard. That's one of the things that's hard about it. In the compressed 9 weeks, we got to do a whole lot of things at once. So grad students, you are reading and discussing Ruby Payne or Gloria Ladson-Billings' book. And some of you are in a group that mixes them all together. The due date of that, I believe, is the Monday after the July the 4th holiday. I think it was due on Sunday. I pushed it over to Monday, again, not to ruin your July the 4th weekend. Some of y'all will finish that beforehand. You're just doing all your work plans. So we've got Focus Question 1 that we're finishing, Focus Question 2 that we're really digging into this week, and Focus Question 3 that you are also working on and finishing, and Focus Question 6 that you're negotiating. How you doing? Hanging in there? We won't start on anything with technology until the week after July 4th. And differentiation, the real world requirements, which is Focus Question 5, that'll be the week after that. Okay. So welcome to design mode. Hopefully you're ready. Some of you have said to me that you're ready to design. So you're thinking about the container for your system this week. You're presenting that in the system outline assignment. And now you know that you already need to go ahead and be thinking about how you'll design your small groups in your system. Let me know with a reply back any questions you have on where we are in the course.